From the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is Balloon Fiesta Live. The 47th edition of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, presented by Canon, is happening now in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And now, live direct from the rooftop studio at Balloon Fiesta Park, here are Glen Moyer and Lloyd Jr.
And good morning and welcome once again from a wet and rainy Albuquerque as we open the final day of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta on Balloon Fiesta Live. I'm Glen Moyer.
And I'm Lloyd Jr. We have moved inside because of the rain.
Because of the rain.
You might have expected, because of the rain has moved in, and it is expected to go through the entire flight time this morning. Our final farewell mass ascension and dawn patrol show has been canceled this morning.
Yeah, they gave the official word just a few moments ago to the pilots that, and it wasn't a good sign when they moved the pilot briefing indoors.
Correct.
Into the Sid Cutter Pilot Pavilion, which I guess is probably the first pilot briefing we've had inside there.
Other than the
evening glows, but yeah, for the morning briefings,
that is
you're
exactly
right.
Yeah. But we have had a great week, though. We really have.
It's been awesome, and I guess maybe I was a bit prophetic because I was commenting last night how really yesterday with the mass ascension, the Dawn Patrol show, the great glow last night. Yesterday was kind of the climax of the event, and today, because we knew that people would be leaving town early, etc.
Yeah, everything worked perfectly yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a great week. We lost last Sunday,
right?
And so Sunday's not been good for us this year.
But you know what? There is next year.
There is.
And so before we get into kind of wrapping up this year, we might as well talk about that.
Yes.
The Picture Perfect theme is the theme for next year, with the dates October 5th through the 13th, 2019.
The brand new bumper sticker that just came out yesterday. Yep.
You'll start seeing that within the next week on all of the Balloon Fiesta marketing materials, website, things like that.
Yep.
And probably not too early to start thinking about getting here next year and getting your hotel rooms.
Well, we had so many people commenting on our feed throughout the week about got to do that one day, I'm coming next year, going to do this, going to do that. So now is not too early to start making some plans.
So, of course, the way Balloon Fiesta works here on the weekends, we have great fun flights, mass ascensions. During the week, we have competitions. And so we were honored to present the awards yesterday at the awards banquet. A total of $90,000 in prize money handed out.
That's almost $1 for every view that we've had on the live feed.
That is, because we're at 962,000 views.
That's right.
This morning.
Yeah.
And I expect that will continue to go up as you go back and watch those shows over and over again. But we wanted to take a couple of moments and recognize those pilots that did win prizes throughout the week and their money yesterday. So back on Tuesday, we had the Sid Cutter Memorial Task, the idea of a little SS Cutter, a little boat out there in the middle of the field, and the best score was the marker that dropped right on the bow. And there's all kinds of different configurations of if you fall into the grass, it's like falling into the water. You don't
score. We had islands marked off with paper scoring areas you could score on, and we only had 2 people get on the boat.
2 on the boat, and then one kind of played it safe. And that would have been Rhett Hartzell. Rhett was in third, winning $500. Morrie Petrin won $1,000 for his second place finish, and winning $1,500 and a very nice ceramic plate with a image of his balloon painted on it.
Yes.
The Sid Cutter Memorial Task. Billy Adler wins the $1,500 and the Sid Cutter Memorial Task.
And Billy's from Longview, Texas, and he is the second pilot from Longview. Richard Sabin won that task earlier.
Yes.
So there are now 2 of those plates in Longview, Texas, which of course is home to the great Texas balloon race.
And then on Thursday and Friday, in addition to targets on the field, we set up some 25-foot poles that folks could drop a ring over and win. On Thursday, Joseph Yano Costa got pole number 1. Casey Schwimmer, Jason Buckner, and Trenton Caldwell split pole number 2. They all hit that one.
So they'll share that $2,000 equally amongst them.
Zarek Wells hit pole number 3, and Al Lowenstein hit pole number 4 with their rings. So $2,000 per pole. Those that were on there all by themselves get the $2,000. If there were 3 of them, as there were on pole 2 on Thursday, they split the $2,000.
Right.
Then we did it again on Friday, and pole number 1 was rung by Paul Petrin. Pole number 3, we had 3 people on it again. Richard James, Brett Christian, and Joe Hartzell. And on pole number 5, Jason Buckner, who tied on one of the poles the day before.
One of the paces. So he split on one pole and won the other pole outright.
Outright on Friday as well.
Yeah, outstanding.
Of course, all kinds of competitions with the X's on markers on the X's.
We had minimum distance double drops. We had regular fly-in tasks. And a lot of scoring. There were 221, I think. 221, I think, pilots. Well, I would know that if I looked right here at the list. And you're right, 221 pilots scored in the competition at least once. Of course, we had 4 days of competition.
Yes.
And the task is, if you really want to be up in the top, you really need to score all 4 days.
It's the only way.
Or at least as many of those days as possible.
Yeah, it doesn't do any good to do really well one day and blow it the other
and then blow it the other 3 days. And so we have the entire list. We won't read all 221 names to you this morning. We thought we'd go down the top 10 because we had a lot of people commenting last night wanting to know what the final results were.
Well, and money with the top 10.
And money with the top 10 as well. So in 10th place, out of Albuquerque, was young Zarek Wells, who also got a pole. So he had a pretty good week here.
He had a good week. He had a very brand new balloon. It literally showed up on Wednesday
the day before. Yeah, so he did outstanding. And he won $500. In 9th place, another Albuquerque pilot was Jonathan Wright, who won $600. Interestingly enough, both of those guys rock some cool mohawk hairstyles. So
that was fun cool at the awards banquet yesterday.
And then in 8th and 7th place, we had 2 brothers, Lucas Hartzell in 8th at winning $700, and Red Hartzell and 7th winning $900. Both are from Texas, and of course their father, Joe Hartzell, 5-time national champion.
Right.
He finished 21st.
Well,
so we had a good chuckle about that yesterday at the awards briefing.
Kids bested Dad. That's
they did indeed.
Well, they learned from one of the best.
They did. They had a good teacher. In 6th place was Richard Sabin, winning $1,100, also from Texas. And Richard is the other pilot from Longview that has won
the Sid
Cutter Memorial. In 5th place, out of Michigan, winning $1,500 was Chuck Walls. In 4th place, we see a theme developing here. Winning $3,000 was Steve Jones, another Texas pilot. And then in the top 3, we had winning $5,000 in 3rd, Josep Lano Costa, who is here from Spain, one of our international pilots getting into the top 3. In 2nd place, $7,000 to Pat Fogue, flying the IMTS balloon out of Missouri. And in 1st place, the champion for this year, a repeat from last year, Morrie
defending and repeat now.
Defending champion and now a repeat champion. And he was telling me yesterday, in the last 6 years here at Fiesta, he's finished 2nd, 2nd, 1st, and 1st. So Morrie's had a pretty good run here in Albuquerque.
He does well here. He also told us the other morning that he hadn't flown that balloon pretty much since last year.
Since last year here at Fiesta, yeah, which is pretty amazing.
So there's something about not flying between Zarek and Morrie here. Maybe that's the secret.
Maybe that was our problem all those years. We kept trying to fly, and we should have just shut it down.
That's it. So those are our winners. Congratulations to all our competitive pilots, and it's just been a great week for that, and we've had many, many great flights out here as well. Again, if you're just joining us here, the rain has come into Albuquerque and is expected to continue through the morning, all through our flight hours. Actually, we're talking about snow in Albuquerque tomorrow.
Wow.
So the weather is definitely changing. We're almost got the entire weekend before the weather systems really hits.
You know, it's not unusual over a 9-day run. I think last year we got all the events in. We were 9 for 9 days. But it's not unusual that at some point during the 9 days we maybe lose a day or an event.
And many pilots actually look forward to that because it gives them a day of rest.
A day off, yeah. Usually, though, we'd like to have that more in the middle of the week so you can kind of get caught up and start over again rather than on the last week. But an awful lot of people, I know we're all tired, our crew is wore out. So in a way, it's if you're going to have a day off, maybe the last day is not such a bad idea.
Well, we talked last night. Many of our pilots, of course, they have to drive here. You can't put your balloon on an airplane and fly it here, so you drive here.
Absolutely.
Many of them are driving hundreds and thousands of miles to get home.
Well,
they've been off for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and for example, Scott Vesley, who is the Dawn Patrol show producer, he was going to fly the Dawn show Actually, he was not going to fly. He was going to do the
stand the
ground
balloon up,
show,
right.
then put down, pack up, because he's got about a 700-mile drive to get home today.
And because we've taken off the week before, it's kind of like 2 weeks off. Folks really do need to get back to
Yeah,
work
a lot
on
of these guys and gals do have, they got real jobs to get back to.
We do.
And they use up all their vacation time. And a lot of them bring family out and bring the kids with them. Kids are missing school, so every day becomes important eventually.
Hey, I want to bring in Ruth Lind and Kim Vesley,
Absolutely.
who have been our reporters on the fields there. Ladies, fabulous job.
Awesome job.
I just appreciate all the work you've done out there. You guys have brought us that extra insight from spectators, from sponsors, from pilots, from board members, just all kinds of folks out there on the field. Thank you for joining us this year here on Balloon Fiesta Live.
Quick question, if I can, and you can ask Kim, I'll ask Ruth. Who was your favorite interview during the week? You had some wonderful folks down there, but who sticks out in your mind?
Two, I have to say. One was Peyton Cusick, the little pin dude that I had the other night. He was just adorable, probably the youngest. And my other favorite interview was Wanda Culver, who's 95 years old, here at Balloon Fiesta, running around all over the field, and in her words, I had a ball. She was terrific.
She rocked it, she did.
What about you, Kim? What was your most memorable interview or moment out there?
It's really hard to pick just one. So what I think I would say is that it's all of the people that came from all over the country and all over the world. We had interviews in French, in Arabic, and just the enthusiasm that these folks had for the magic of Balloon Fiesta. It was magical, and it was great to rediscover that.
Great. Well, thank you both again for a great
Absolutely.
job on
Wonderful
Balloon
job.
Fiesta Live here. With that, Glen Moyer.
Well, I have a bit of a tradition, and Kim, step back in here. Ruth, you too, because you can join us in this. This is my 29th year here, and for all these years, I've always signed off with the balloonist prayer. So maybe, especially with weather like it is today, that's a good way to say goodbye. And the balloonist prayer, we don't know the origin. It's an unknown author, but it goes like this. May the winds
Welcome you with softness. May the sun bless you with its warm hands, for you have flown so high and so well that God has joined you in your laughter and sent you gently back into the loving arms of Mother Earth.
So, Art, it's been a fantastic year. Ruth and Kim, I'm already confused.
Glenn, and thanks to all of our folks with Windfire Productions
Absolutely.
for putting this on. Thank you for
Great
joining
job.
us. Continue to share it out. We're going to hit that 1 million views, and we'll see you again in 2019 for 48th year, Picture Perfect.
48th year of Balloon Fiesta and
Balloon Fiesta Live. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
This has been live coverage of the 2018 Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta presented by Canon. Always in October and always in Albuquerque, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is the world's premier ballooning event. This program is a production of AIBF Inc., all rights reserved. Thanks for watching Balloon Fiesta Live.